Viewers of NTV, the question you've asked is one that we are here to implore, given that it is 6 days ever since the Supreme Court ruling where it barred, military courts from trying civilians in courts, but also directed that all cases ongoing be transferred to civil courts. 6 days away, we have not seen actionable implementation by the military court, and you've been seeing around lawyers of notable civilians in military courts, the likes of Arias Lukwago, George Musisi, trying to push for civilians to be brought out of these military courts. Now, I'm joined by the Vice President of the Uganda Law Society, that is Anthony Asimwe, to make sense on their stand. As the Uganda Law Society, we all saw this landmark ruling, and it is 6 days away, nothing has really been done. What do you make of this as the radical Nuba?
All right, thank you. As the Uganda Law Society, on the day of the ruling, 31st of January, we issued our official statement, and we still retaliate what's in that statement, whereas we do receive this ruling with great excitement as a nation and as the bar. We still take note of the fact that there's a lot still to be done. Like we were stating earlier, we have half a loaf. The court has well given a clear position on the position of the law. Civilians should not be tried in the courts martial. And when you look at the remedies now and what should be done in terms of implementation, it goes back to particular individuals on what steps should be done. The Supreme Court leaves a bit of space, and that's why I see there are a lot of questions. And what we are doing as the Uganda Law Society in fulfilling our mandate to the public, the general public and the membership, is to analyze and take steps. In our statement, we gave guidelines on what we advise the various stakeholders, including the military, the UPDF itself, the parliament, and the executive. Now, in as far as your question directly, on implementation, you're seeing different people. There are those who have lawyers. We know we have members who are, the public knows about them. They have the attention, the national attention. Most of them, like you're mentioning, have private lawyers. These lawyers, we trust that they know exactly what to do and they're doing their work, and as far as fulfilling their instructions to the clients are concerned.
How about the representation of the other 1,000 there who are victims of the court, like of the general court martial trials, and don't have representations of,
now
they don't have legal representations, rather? Yeah,
our major focus as the Uganda Law Society, we have a statutory mandate to guide or to help, to give support the members of the public. In our section 3, we have C and E of the ULS Act. Our role is to the public, and we are doing whatever it takes. We've actually taken action. We've taken action. We've written to the various authorities, prison authorities, asking for a list of the people who are in prison, who are in their prisons, from the military courts. And you'll be surprised at the numbers you are getting. Now, we are still compiling these lists. We are still getting individual people because everyone went to a different military court system in their areas, for example in Karamoja, and the remedies to be taken are different. So we are focusing on how can we assist these people, whereas we are supporting our members who are lawyers, who are representing the people who have attention, who can afford all the privilege. There are those, the unprivileged, who is going to speak for them, who is going to help them. And you also need to take note of the fact that this is really, it's heavy on us as the bar, because whereas we are intending to do this work, this load, it is so costly. It takes a lot of money, there are a lot of resources involved. Right now we're collecting data to know what individual support does each person have, because we do not have a general, remedy for all of them. So right now we're in the process of getting the numbers. We go on to give those ones who cannot afford legal representation through our legal aid project. But like I said about the financial cost, we are soon to launch what we call the demilitarization fund, because we need a lot of funds to make sure this process works, to make sure these people get justice. So we are looking at how can these people get justice, not just the ruling. We are not just celebrating the ruling, but we need justice for the victims.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vice President. Priscilla, you've heard it from yourself. Whereas whereas the Uganda Law Society is pushing for the speedy implementation of the Supreme Court ruling, they say they are also seeking out to give pro bono aid to, the thousands of Ugandans out there affected by this, general court martial ruling or military courts. These are details we are going to bring you in our subsequent prime bulletins, NTV Yakawongezi and NTV